Contact the show at any time. genericliveshow@gmail.com. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Monday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. The show is broken. The show's over. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. The show's over. Go home. Yes. Oh, hey. Alright, thanks for joining us here on this extremely broken episode of the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us. We're starting a little bit late. A, mainly because I've changed my recording setup around and no one really wants to hear that story. And B, yeah, we may or may not have got hooked on the fact that Dale doesn't know how to pronounce English, and 2, we may have also got hooked on Smash Mouth videos in the pre-show. And if you want to experience the pre-show, you can over at twitch.tv/geekio show and at /generic live show as well. Email genericliveshow@gmail.com if you have any feedback. That would be great as well. And this is the best second take to a podcast you'll ever hear, mainly because it's probably going to be the successful one. Now, the real reason why we double taked, now, forget technical difficulties, forget Doritos, and here I go again, mispronouncing it, because I can, Doritos. Nothing is the more of the reason to start late than having to introduce this topic. It's a topic we've talked about on this show more than once, more than twice, but no more than 5 times. And, okay, 5 times may be a little bit of a stretch. I think it is literally it is the 4th time we've brought up this topic, mainly because A, it hasn't been resolved yet, and B, there's an update. So, here's what happens next with a same-sex postal vote. It's the headline. So, the one thing that you need to know is equal marriage is not a possibility in this country. At least, not yet. Not yet being the operative word there. Yet is the very important word there. And I'll tell you why. Because I am confident in my... Okay, reporter bias. I am confident in my ability that this is going to go through. So, the following months of public division over same-sex marriage, the Turnbull government has decided to send its plan for a compulsory plebiscite back to the Senate, and when it likely fails, it will bypass the legislature with a voluntary postal plebiscite to decide if MPs get a free vote. That is how Australia is going to get how Australia is going to ensure that it gets along the way of achieving same-sex marriage. So, okay, let's break it down a little bit. And yeah, I'm fired up. You know what? I'm fired up. Mainly because, A, it's a little bit redonkulous, and 2, it's just a little bit redonkulous. So here's what it is. And I know 1 and 2 are the same. Don't correct me in the chat. Don't do that. But please do send me videos to help to pronounce things, because that will derail the show indefinitely. Don't do that. After the compulsory attendance plebiscite is rejected by the Senate, which it did get, by the way, update, it did get knocked back, the government will move to hold a postal vote through the Australian Bureau of Statistics, which previously on Australian Bureau of Statistics, the 2016 census screw around. So, there you go. Ballots will be sent to homes of all people that are enrolled to vote on the Australian electoral roll, one point before we continue, why the Australian Bureau of Statistics is involved with this, one will never know, but there is an actual reason. I think mainly because of they say it's legal costs, and would blow out the budget a lot more if that was the case. If the plebiscite results in a majority yes vote, coalition Conservative MPs will be allowed a free vote in Parliament on a bill to legislate same-sex marriage. They will not be bound to vote in line with the result of the public ballot. That is important to note, mainly because a plebiscite is non-binding. A referendum is. Now, we had this conversation, not last time we talked about, but the time before, I think with Maddie and Carl, is where an amendment to the Constitution has to be proposed to hold a referendum. This is an amendment to a bill. So that's where the plebiscite comes into play. The referendum in Britain for Brexit, that was a referendum because that amends their constitution and just how that country is structured. This plebiscite is a plebiscite because it is non-constitutional in its structure. That's the difference. Just want to throw that out there. If the plebiscite returns a majority no result, the government will not allow a free vote, meaning MPs will remain bound to change if in opposition. So if, say, because the coalition is in power now, if Labor was to retain that power at the next election, which I don't know when that is, I think that's 2020 or 2021, one of the two. That's when that will happen. So under a postal plebiscite, the government will seek to have ballots in letterboxes from September 12th and a result declared by November 15th. So we'll know by November 15th if we will have if the plebiscite, we will know the plebiscite results by November 15th. Now this is where we were talking about last week, where the road to same-sex marriage, assuming yes or no, I suppose for the next sentence, is that we will or will not know by Christmas whether we will have same-sex marriage. If a compulsory attendance plebiscite overcomes the odds and passes the Senate, then it will be held on November 25th. So there you go. That's not happening. Leaving enough time applying to vote on gay marriage before the end of the year. So that is not happening, by the way, because they blocked the compulsory plebiscite. How much will a postal plebiscite cost? 122 million, according to the government. A postal vote in 1999 to elect delegates to the Constitutional Convention on the Republic cost $40 million in today's dollars. So, including inflation, rather, I believe. A compulsory attendance plebiscite could cost up to 170 million. Which, that is a lot of money. That's a lot of hard-working taxpayers. That's all my tax gone for the year. No, I don't pay 122 million in tax. I wish I had that much to pay that much in tax. Which I know is an oxymoron, but hey, there you go. Why is the Australian Electoral Commission not conducting the vote? So here is the thing. So the government is framing this as a survey, as opposed to a compulsory a vote, because a vote would insinuate an official plebiscite, although it is a plebiscite and a what's the term? A compulsory attendance. Thank you. Plebiscite up to 170 million. So the government is conducting a vote as a survey through the ABS and sees the best way of avoiding legal challenges to its plan. So people would probably call into question if the Australian Electoral Commission would conduct the vote? I'm confused. Okay. Opponents of the plebiscite have said legal advice casts doubt on the government's liability to conduct a postal ballot without specific legislation. Based on its own advice, the government says it has the power to ask the ABS to survey the citizens without asking for Parliament's permission. Finance Minister Nathanis Cormann says that he has the power to appropriate up to $250 million for such survey. AEC employees will seconded to the ABS to assist with the processes. Now, I think, for me, this is a huge deal, mainly because I think why we're still jumping through these loopholes is still way beyond me. But I think for people to get out of this rut that they're in, it makes a lot more sense than what it should. And I think today, the problem with
more car engines are built to run.
we're a very traditionalist nation, and I think to get out of that is to see what the people want. And I said last week that it is a serving of the public, and I suppose a part of that process, and I was thinking about this over the week, is a part of serving the public would be to kind of gauge how they felt on how they would feel on this issue. So here is a video. This is probably another music PowerPoint presentation. The government will stick with the plebiscite policy, asking the Senate to pass it again. Seems unlikely the postal plebiscite is possible.
Our preference is to have a compulsory attendance plebiscite that is legislated, and that's what we will endeavour to do later this week in the Senate. If that isn't to pass, then we're still determined to seek to give effect to our election commitment, and in that circumstance we would seek to pursue a postal ballot, and we're confident that it's both legal and constitutional.
This is an extraordinary step that the government is blocked in the Senate and will be blocked again from conducting a plebiscite. It's now threatening that it's going to go ahead with what is probably an illegal activity, not authorised by the Parliament, spending somewhere between $40 and $100 million, because they're the various estimates that have been given, simply to achieve further delay and to conduct an activity that they won't be bound by.
Every single voter on the electoral roll will have the opportunity to participate, and every single voter that has a strong view in favour or against the proposed change, no doubt will participate.
This postal plebiscite, this postal opinion poll, is a colossal waste of money and time. The Parliament should just do its job. The government should just do its job and have a free vote on marriage equality. We can make it a reality.
Okay, so full reporter bias moment here, if I may, which it's my show, so I may. The thing is, whether you're in favour for same-sex marriage or not, the question is slightly skewed, and I don't know if this is reported bias. I think I'm framing my argument how to try and be as impartial as possible. I think the question is now changing to the, instead of the what, is to the how, and I think the real cause of the issue is allowing same-sex couples to marry, to participate in the ceremony that is now referred to as marriage, much as it's always been referred to as marriage. And it's kind of, so take that in mind. That's the cause, is allowing two people to I think the phrasing was weird when we first reviewed this story. It was allow instead of being marriage being between a man and a woman, it being redefining it as a marriage between two individuals. Which, by the way, individuals instead of just saying people is a bit weird. But anyway, it's legislation. Legislation's weird. The point is, that's the cause. The cause is allowing that to happen. But instead, I think we've wrapped ourselves in the issue of how are we going to get there? Even if it is via a free vote. If it's a free vote, then whoop-de-dee. That's the way to do it. But the point is, I think we're going into the argument of how are we going to get there? And I think the government is running around like roosters on a farm with no barriers going, what do we do now? What do we do? Like a gay chicken walks into the barn. What do we do? And he wants to marry this other dude chicken. What do we do? Dude chicken. Oh, chickens can be... Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that what do we do? What do we do now to allow this to happen? Has become the point, as opposed to the broader point of let's make same-sex marriage legal in Australia because it's about damn flipping time. So people that have spoken out in favour of same-sex marriage, just a few of them, because we've got to head to our break here. Some celebrities that have come in it. Jessica Maris, don't know who she is. Anne Hathaway, there you go. Christian Bell, Justina Franklin, Asha Keddy, Waleed Ali, everyone's fave. He's in a lot of trouble lately. That Waleed Ali. He's in a lot of hot water. We haven't covered it on this show, thank God. Beyonce, Justin Timberlake. I was stoked. I mean, I was stoked when that happened. When that happened. I think it's just ... We're people and we're different, all of us. We should be using our differences to bring ourselves closer together. It was great. Great victory for equality. I'm proud that New York has the balls to stand up for what is right. That's apparently my Justin Timberlake impression. That's how that works, right? Unable to connect to chat. Okay. Strange. Okay. We should be live still. That's okay. Right. Sure. But yeah, that's my Justin Timberlake impression. Hope you liked my Justin Timberlake or my Justin Bieber impression. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, well, everyone knows the Apple Watch. Well, Apple is working on a new one. But it might not involve the iPhone this time. We'll tell you more as we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We started a bit late, but we're ironing out the creases as we go along. Thanks for joining us here on a Monday. What? It's Dale Campbell here with you. Thanks for joining us. It's 9:22.
Hey you! Yes you, fine listener of this program. You can help us become more than what we already are. I know, it's a revolution. Hold on to your butts because I'm about to give you a URL address that could change our lives. Not really, but it would help us out tremendously if you went over to geek-io.net/support so we could do a lot more than what we're actually doing now. That website actually has a lot of links on it where you can help us out monthly through Patreon at our Patreon site at patreon.com/geekio, or you can help us out once off by supporting those who support us. But then you can become the ones who support us, who support you, who support us. It's Supportception. To continue this Supportception, it's in your hands. Go to geek-io.net/support to keep this ever-long cycle of support up. Thank you.
You finally found the most generic live show. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Monday. Man, I've been doing the show too long that I've just got into the habit of saying Sunday. But thanks for joining us here on a Monday. It's Dale Kimball here with you. Thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us live or on your hard drive. It's a pleasure to be here, as per always. Now, we all know the Apple Watch, right? Apple Watch, it's great. Well, it does its job. But Apple, that's not enough for Apple. A popular wearable device is not enough for Apple. They now, because, well, hang on, before I get to that, now, the current Apple Watch is, it involves the iPhone and Bluetooth. But what if I told you, and I hope you're sitting down for this, what if I told you that Apple is making a version of the Apple Watch that does not require an iPhone? Oh my gosh. What? That would be crazy. That is just insane. No one can. That's as bad as the Big Ben bonging to fall silent until 2021 repairs. That's a headline. Anyway. That's a headline. I'm being distracted today. I'm very distracted today. Whoa. Bloomberg reports that a new watch will connect directly to LTE mobile networks. Oh my god, a 3G watch? What? The claim was later corroborated by the Wall Street Journal. So we got three sources here. The one I'm reading off plus Bloomberg plus Wall Street Journal. So there you go. It's not something I don't say on the show anymore. The company has begun talks with providers in US and Europe about offering the device later this year, reports say. Apple launched the watch in 2015, but is yet to share any sales figures. What? That is strange that there hasn't been any figures yet for that since launch. Strange. In a recent call to investors, Apple boss Tim Cook says his firm's watch was the best-selling smartwatch in the world. Very smart. So smart right now. But the wider wearables market, Apple lags behind the Chinese firm Xiaomi and San Francisco-based Fitbit, according to strategy analysts. While the originally proposed as a luxury device, Apple has recently focused on the fitness credentials of the watch. Untethering it from the iPhone would open up a range of new functionality and open up endless possibilities, such as allowing users to download songs on the move. Okay. How would that work? If you downloaded songs, how would that exactly work? Because would you have to oh, I'm wearing my watch. Would you have to hold it up to your ears like that and then run along? That was a very visual thing for the podcasters, and just figure that one out. And listening to it, because I suppose it would have to have a speaker in it too. I don't know much about the watch. I recently got a new phone. If that helps. An iPhone, actually. Funny how that works. Funny how more Apple stories are popping up in my newsfeed now that I actually have an iPhone. Bizarre, right? Apple is clearly has big plans for the watch in both the health segment as a gateway to the connected home, says Carolina Malazzuni, computer technologist at Creative Strategies. Quote, a direct network connection helps both in making sharing data more reliable and faster, unquote. However, there will be a concern on battery life of the device. Most of the computeral heavy lifting on the current Apple Watch is done via the paired iPhone. According to the Bloomberg report, the new device modem will be manufactured by Intel. Strange. The device will come on the market several years. Apple rivals Samsung and LG have launched their own cellular-enabled smartwatches. However, such devices have tended to be large to gain any mainstream popularity. Apple did not respond to BBC's request for comment on Friday. Yeah, okay, sure. Why not? Why not? Why not have an Apple Watch device? That seems kind of cool, right? That seems like something that would happen. There you go. I don't know much about these smartwatches, but I know for a fact that they are a good thing to have for those fitness things. Like they were a novelty item once upon a time. I'm old enough to remember that they were a novelty item that not many people bought. They weren't popular, and I think that particularly Fitbit have helped push Apple and the Apple Watch, and with so many people with iPhones, that also helps as well, trying to sell to them at the same time, kind of pushing them in that direction is also a very good start. But when are we getting sales figures? Because I want sales figures on these iWatches, because that definitely seems like a thing that should happen. As we continue here on the Generic Live show for a Sunday, thanks for joining us. Well, the Teen Choice Awards was today, and no, I didn't watch it. My heart breaks. I didn't watch the Teen Choice Awards, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm a bad presenter. I should have done my homework, but I would have got sad, apparently.
In order to satisfy
No. How about we play commercials whilst not trying to talk? Hey, Dale gets interrupted by commercials. Drink. Anyway, as we continue here on the Generic Live Show, thanks for joining us. It's Dale Campbell here with you on a Monday. See, I'm getting in the rhythm. A Monday. Thanks for joining us. It's 9:32.
This Geeko Podcast Network is proudly sponsored by T-Fury. T-Fury is the home of your t-shirt needs. Well, we're all geeks, and we all love wearing t-shirts because, well, society tells us that we can't walk around naked, allegedly. So we've got you covered. T-Fury is the home of t-shirts with geeky designs from independent artists. What's there not to love? T-shirts, geekiness, indie. Yay! When you're ready to go check out the range, use our affiliate link over at geek-io.net/tfury so we can get a little bit of a kickback off any t-shirt that is bought from the hundreds of t-shirts available at T-Fury. T-Fury, the match made in heaven. A match made in heaven is not actually the T-Fury slogan, although I don't actually know what the T-Fury slogan is. Opinions that are reflected in the preceding advertisement towards the opinions of Dale Campbelloni in order to reflect those of the Geeko Podcast Network, its affiliates, or sponsors.
Hold on tight. This is the Generic Live Show.
Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Monday. What? Yeah, the show got delayed a day, so thank you everyone. Apologies for the inconvenience, and thank you everyone for sending me well wishes. I don't know what for though. I got a strange lot of well wishes. So hey, but I appreciate the well wishes, whatever the well wishes are for. But hey, I'll take them. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's a pleasure to be here as per always, whether you're listening to us live or on your hard drive at twitch.tv/Geek.io show or /Generic Live Show. Lots of shows going on. Monday. Now it's time for Generic Live Show on a Monday. Monster Trucks ahoy! Wait, was that the thing? Hang on, sorry. M-Meme in the chat reminds me of Sunday. Was that the Monster Truck rally? Was that the thing? I casually enjoy monster trucks, but I wouldn't say that I'm a fan per se. I am a fan of Smash Mouth video. Okay, I will stop making references to the pre-show. I will stop that. We're half an hour into the actual show, so I should stop making reference to the pre-show. But twitch.tv/Geek.io show / Generic Live Show for pre-show goodness, because it was a good pre-show. Anyway, all of this to say that the Teen Choice Awards happened. Hey, if you have to suffer through this, so do I, because, you know, if I have to suffer through this, you have to suffer through this too. It came up, okay, sidebar, 5 years ago, yesterday, I was 5 years working at my current job. So we had a party today because, you know, everyone was there. No one works on Sunday except for me, and we had a party. We had a lunch today because it was mine and someone else's 10th anniversary as well. So MB posts a link to Sunday. I'm playing this. Monster Truck. Okay, here we go. It was Mega Monster Truck Rally. Yes!
This 4th of July weekend, prepare to get on.
Oh, hang on. So, we'll play it in its entirety, but is it always the 4th of July? It's always the 4th of July weekend. Monster Trucks always come to town on the 4th of July weekend.
This 4th of July weekend, prepare to get annihilated. As Smash proudly present Mega Monster Truck Rally at the Citrus Bowl, featuring all your
what?
Demon Seed, Ballbuster, Gunchoven, and
okay, first of all of those, I have been called all of those names in my lifetime. Anyway.
The second annual Barbecue Twinkie Cook-Off. Tickets for just $10. The first 100
$10.
Get a can of Natural Light. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or Sunday barbecue locations in Orlando.
What?
Sunday. This 4th of July weekend. Be here or be queer.
Well, okay. Can I be both? Is that how that works?
This 4th of July weekend. Prepare to get on.
Oh, jeepers. It's playing again. Oh, oops. Sorry, M-Beam, I've already played it. Oops. Oh well. That happens. Be here or be queer? Can we change the slogan to that? You can be both. Turns out you can be both here and queer. Rumor has it that you can be here and queer. Okay. Wait, why am I getting an ad for Uber that says, if your name is Sam, enjoy a $20 Uber ride every day for a week? Okay. Alright, whatever. Okay, Teen Choice Awards happened today. Oh, lunch. Work. Gotcha. Don't know how I got there. Meanwhile, you're right, M-Beam. M-Beam says they didn't realize the ending until posted. That's it. Hey, it doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me at all. As long as it doesn't curse, like there's no swearing in it. That's all that really matters. But anyway, so at lunch today, a big thing came up on my phone that says, a news alert that came up that says, something you may be interested in is the Teen Choice Awards to watch live. And my phone lit up, and the person that was the gentleman who was sitting beside me said, "You don't watch that stuff, do you?" They didn't. Okay, full disclaimer: they didn't use the word. They didn't use the word stuff. They used another word that I can't say on the show, but there you go. And I went, I'm having a party and I'm enjoying myself, so how about I don't watch that? And they're like, hey girl, no, that's not, that part, that last hey girl part didn't happen. And I was like, hey girl, no, that didn't happen either. Okay. Teen Choice Awards. Dale, get on with it. Come on now. The reliability Rowdy Teen Choice Awards has taken place during its ceremony to consider the world and its young audience will inherit. Hashtags, surfboards, and loud shrieks dominated the awards in Los Angeles on Sunday. Yes! Yes! This 4th of July weekend. Yes. Slint is the word that they used. I'm not falling for that trick again. I fell for that last week. Yeah, they had their arm up in a slint. In a cast, rather. Whatever. With YouTube star Jake Paul proceeding. I don't know who Jake Paul is. Someone has to fill me in on who Jake Paul is. But with the 2-hour live broadcast coming a day after violence at a rally of white nationalists in I was afraid that this story was going to come up somewhere along the show. Look, I'm not talking about that story because it involves a person that I embargoed a ban on that person. Some winners pleaded for teen viewers to do better than their elders. Oh, what? Okay. With all the justice and all the hatred and everything that's happened, not only in the world, but in our country right now, I need you young people, you guys, to be educated. You need to listen, and you need to pay attention, said Spider-Man Homecoming and one-time single achiever Zendaya, accepting for the Best Summer Movie Actress for The Amazing Spider-Man, the not-so-amazing Spider-Man. You are the future presidents, the future senators, and our future senators, she said. You guys are the ones who are going to make this world better! Okay, first of all of that, without the snark on it, is true. Telling them that they're the future presidents, then hey, okay. Miley Cyrus was to receive the ceremony's highest honor, the Ultimate Choice Award, but she was a last-minute cancellation because she was in Malibu, because of course she was. And that's a reference no one in this target audience understands. Many of the biggest names sent in video acceptances, Bruno Mars, Gal Gadot, were merely announced as winners. Beyonce, Zac Efron, Ariana Grande. One noticeable exception was Chris Pratt, who dropped by to accept his 2 movie awards. Pratt and his wife Anna Faris recently announced their separation. That still left many teen idols for the crowd to cheer, including the cast of CV drama series Riverdale, winner of 7 awards, the group Fourth Harmony, because there's only 4 of them now, because that's how that works, the winner of Best Music Group and Song. Rock band Maroon 5 was honoured with the Decade Award. Other winners included Dwayne Johnson for Moana, because Dwayne sings now, because that's how that works, Lucy Hale for Pretty Little Liars, and Ed Sheeran for the shape of a song that isn't quite a song, and the males of which that sing that song in the shape of a pop song. But Teen Choice Awards happened on Sunday.
Demon Seed Ballbuster got children.
By the way, I randomly clicked to that spot on the video. Oh my god, that was great. God, that is
Sunday.
Hey, we know. Oh my god, can we do it? Hang on. Okay, I'm doing a live promo right now here on the Generic Live Show. Ready? The Generic Live Show airs on
Sunday.
Seamless. Seamless. No one noticed. No one noticed at all. That was so seamless that no one noticed. All right. That was fantastic. Sunday. You know what? The Teen Choice Awards are a thing, and I understand that they're a thing, and I get that, but I don't follow them. I'm not a huge. I understand. I see pop music. I like pop music. I genuinely like pop music, but I don't get how pop music can be. I understand pop music's appeal, but I just don't get how. I don't get the culture that surrounds it, if that makes sense. The culture that surrounds it, is a bit much for me. There is something really stuck in my nose, so I apologize if it looks like I'm picking my nose, which I am, but hey, that's a whole nother story. But I think that yeah, pop music is good. It's just a very different world that teen pop, and considering, well, I'm not a teen anymore, it's a little bit hard to keep up with that scene, if you will. Meanwhile, moving from Teen Choice Awards to profit calls. Hey, boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. The ASX has reacted to much of Friday's losses. A bunch of companies lost on Friday. But it is not driven by enthusiastic buying of companies' results today. JB Hi-Fi, Newcrest, Arizon, and NSL have disappointed. Although Bendigo and Adelaide Bank did not manage to impress investors. Did manage to impress investors. The ASX was up 0.7% to 5,735. So the headlines of this, because we weren't meant to spend that long on the Teen Choice Awards, because, well, of course we weren't, because you know, who wants to spend that long on the Teen Choice Awards? JB Hi-Fi nails a record profit. Aurizon derailed by impairments. Newcrest profit slumps, but still solid. Bendigo and Adelaide Bank edges profit up. They're the headlines. So the result for JB Hi-Fi is a 172 million profit, but the share price moved negative 1.4%. Excuse me. Aurizon had a $188 million loss. Newcrest had a $308 million profit. Bendigo and Adelaide, man, 2 vodkas may be too much for the show. $408 million profit, and Ansell, you know, they makers of their condoms, gained 187 profit. Now, I think the contributing factors to all of this would be, I forgot to post this in the chat. Apologies, I forgot to post that in the chat. Alright. Did I post the other one in the chat? I did post the other one in the chat. Okay. The nailing of the record profit by JB Hi-Fi would have to contribute to the 870 million takeover from the Good Guys that was completed last November. Whereas the Good Guys, I think, are still trading, though. I think it was just an acquisition of like the brand name and all of the rest of it. Sorry, I just did a routine test. Routine test. This is a drill. Underlining, stripping out one of the items as the overall takeover costs were up 36% to $208 million, which was roughly in line with expectations. So a full-year dividend of $1.18 per share. Aurizon derailed by impairments. The big Queensland-based rail operator Aurizon, formerly known as Queensland Rail before it got sold off. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, because QRX is still Queensland Rail. Delivered a $118 million loss, down from last year's $72 million profit. The reason for that is of course, impairments, but the fact that their revenue flatlined at $3.5 million as well. That also doesn't help. Newcrest profits slumped, but still solid. They slipped 7% to $308 million. It's still a little bit of a slip, but that's still pretty healthy. Cash earnings for Bendigo and Adelaide Bank are up to $480 million. So there you go. Right. There you go. There's Dale getting geeky about finance, which I could probably squeeze a lot more out of that than that. This show is probably the most diverse it's ever been this week. Like, we go from Teen Choice Awards to Monster Trucks to finally getting to the Teen Choice Awards to finance. So there you go. As that's your 1 second roundup of this segment. As we continue here on the Generic Live show for a Sunday, well, everyone's favourite segment of Review of a Review is back, and well, the sequel that no one asked for. We're reviewing reviews of that. Find out more as we continue here on the Generic Live show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. Thanks for joining us. It's 9:51.
Hey you! Yes you, fine listener of this program. You can help us become more than what we already are. I know, it's a revolution. Hold on to your butts, because I'm about to give you a URL address that could change our lives. Not really, but it would help us out tremendously if you went over to geek-io.net/support, so we can do a lot more than what we're actually doing now. That website actually has a lot of links on it where you can help us out monthly through Patreon at our Patreon site at patreon.com/geekio, or you can help us out once off by supporting those who support us. But then you can become the ones who support us, who support you, who support us. It's Supportception. To continue this Supportception, it's in your hands. Go to geek-io.net/support to keep this ever-long cycle of support up. Thank you. Want a custom computer? Want to run the latest games at the highest graphics with no lag? Want to build a computer that can make and edit movies or videos like them they're professionals? Pugent Systems has your solution. Go to geek-io.net/Pugent to build a brand new custom computer. We'd like to thank Pugent Systems for their support of the Geek.io network.
Are part of a balanced breakfast and proud members of the Geek.io podcast network. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Monday. What? For a Monday. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Monday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. Now, before before we head on in to the meat of this segment, by reviewing reviews that we all love and or hate, I think we did one last week that no one liked, because I think we did the Emoji Movie last week. Was that the week before? We may have done that, but hey, we have some announcements to make. We've got some housekeeping news. We've got some housekeeping news to do, and we got just the music for that. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's right. Actually, you know what? That's not the good one. There's the good one. Here's the one. There's the news. Here's the one you need. Announcement time! Happy fluffy announcement fun time for all. Yay! Alright. Here we go. So announcement, hi there, Donate of the Year. Hi there. Hi there. Donator of the Year. Apologies, I didn't have the chat open. Apologies. Welcome. So announcement corner time. Announcement time. So next Sunday, so that not this coming Sunday, not the one coming up. Why can't I stream you, lol? Oh, I don't know. Huh. I don't know, donator of the year. Huh. That should be strange. I think it's working on my end of the year. It's working on my end. It's all on my end. Hi, donator of the year. Sorry about that. It was working on my end. Apologies for that. So announcement time before we get to a review of review. We don't normally make 3 announcements, but if you're around tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, that's 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, the Small Screen Spoiler Show Orange is the New Black recap. We're finally doing that. Me and CJ Boat will tear that show apart. Next Sunday, the 27th of August at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, friend of the program, Maddie Benedetti, will join us live on the show. She will be back for her second guest appearance. She's joining us. She's a fantastic writer and creator in her own right, and she's perfect for this show, and she's been on before, and she's just amazing. And I can't believe... no... Oh, you know what that is? Sorry, I'm replying to Donator of the Year. That's strange that it stopped. Tonight. Okay. Let me reply to that. Alright, so just a few issues. I don't know. It stopped on my end too. That's really bizarre. Huh. Okay. Well, apologies, Donator of the Year, for the spotty audio quality. I do apologise. Okay. Back over here. So at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, normal time, Maddie Benedetti will join us. Can't believe it's 2 weeks before I leave to go to America. I'm freaking out about that, but that aside, if you're coming to Dragon Con, the Geek Hire show will be live. I will be on that show live. That is the Friday at 8:30 p.m. at the Galleria 6 in the Hilton. We are looking at that. Donator of the Year is sending in the cutest pag loin rolls in the Pangloin rolls in the mud. That well, let's watch this cute. Let's watch this cute thing.
Go in. Oh, I just know he's gonna go in.
Oh.
I knew he was gonna go in.
Oh my god. Oh. This is so cute. This is very visual.
Man, I hope he walks himself back to the house tonight because I don't want to be
Oh my gosh. That is so cute. That is so cute. Alright. Well, we are going to take a break. Because it's nearly time to take a break, plus I'm going to knock on the door, so I'm going to answer that real quick. Alright, thanks for joining us here on a Sunday with Dale Campbell. Thanks for joining us, it's a pleasure as always. Here on a Monday, instead of a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you, it's a pleasure as always. Thanks for joining us. It's 9:59.